So a couple kind of key stats about that. So this is true of entrepreneurs, executives, but just 50 to 60% fail within the first 18 months of their position. Most people would say that I think it's somewhere in the range of 35 to 40% would say that they did not anticipate the loneliness associated with these positions and this level of risk. And then a lot of times people would say that they um, just felt very unprepared for the challenges of their role. So let's just kind of imagine that as a petri dish, and you're putting high risk of failure, you're putting a lot of stress and futility, and then you're also putting a sense of powerlessness, but maybe you get some initial money and you have power money for the first time in your life. Well, you put all those things together, and that's a petri dish for unwanted behaviors. So the other side to it would also be one's own story. And as you put well, Rusty, there's a sense of many entrepreneurs that I work with would be, not all of them, but a lot of them are kind of like the Enneagram type 3, like the achiever mentality. And so one of the things that I don't think we really understand enough around mental health and narcissism, especially with men, is that when I was in high school, I always thought about narcissism was like this guy in my school that he had to wear Tommy Hilfiger. He had a Ford Mustang Cobra, say like, it was kind of like a purple green tint. And we were always like, he's a narcissist. He's so full of himself. And yet, clinically, narcissism is not being full of yourself. It's actually not knowing who you are. And so you look to your bank account, you look to your position, you look to your success, how many books you've written, your own image, your own, how beautiful your partner is. And all of that becomes what we refer to in psychology as a reflected sense of self. And so for a lot of entrepreneurs that have kind of they have a reflected sense of self from their accomplishments, from what they're able to do. When that rises and falls, their ego, their heart and soul rises and falls. And many times in that place of stress and that place of judgment, that's when they are very susceptible to pursuing an unwanted behavior like porn or an affair. And it's always two things. Half of it is always a sense of relief from the difficulties of what they're feeling. But then the other half is you actually pursue something that brings greater judgment against yourself. And so, on one hand, it provides relief from stress, but on the other hand, it provides irrefutable evidence that like you are just broken and screwed up.